You're watching The View. The G-View. GViewTV.com. Entertainment for you. Interviews, previews, and reviews.
We have one of the mega promoters here at GView TV, and this part is a little review. His name is Rodeo Promotion. Welcome at GView TV, Rodeo.
Thank you for having me.
The face, no people can have the face what they're destined for. People always wonder, who is Rodeo Promotion? We pulled it off, GView TV pulled it off. Now they know who is Rodeo Promotion. All of the big show them that come to Canada, this is the man.
But is it a good thing that we released his identity?
Rodeo is a good promoter, despite critics. He is a good promoter, and we're gonna do a little review on
last week's show.
Last week's show, the Woodbine
Fresh Fest. Fresh Fest.
Fresh Fest.
Yes.
Okay, so they had Jahmiel, Mavado,
and the man himself.
And the man himself, Alkaline, and a slew of Canadian artists. Izo, Sample King, Kim Kelly, the whole of them.
Sure.
You were at the show? I was in country.
I was at the show.
How was the show?
I was at the show.
The show?
The show.
I'm gonna give the viewers who didn't make it to the show, who couldn't make it to the show, I'm gonna give them a sneak preview from one of GView staff that was inside the building. GView caught it live. A little preview. Here you go. Alkaline was here, Jahmiel was here, Mavado was here. You saw what it looked like?
I saw it live and direct.
So for the people that whenever they there, that's a little sneak preview.
That was like a little touch.
A little touch.
A little touch.
After the show, Sunday morning, of course, people took it to social media.
No, from the night.
From the
night.
night.
People took it to social media.
Correction. From the night, right after the show, people took it to social media. Some people said it was the worst show ever. Some people say it was the best show ever. The man is here that actually promote the show. You produce a lot of show, promote a lot of show. What is your take on this show?
Well, I am, first of all, happy to know that we weren't the subject of CP24 the next day, like many shows of this size and magnitude often end up. Mm-hmm. I do hear the critics, and from where I stand, I am happy. I tried to do what some people call the undoable. I tried to do something that I will tell you now might not ever be repeated in my lifetime, to get 3 artists at the same time at the top of their game.
Yes.
It's sometimes it's hard to get 3 people. You have Mavado up here right now. The 3 of them is at the top of their game. Some things didn't turn out how I expected. A lot of things did. And if you were to ask me to grade this on a grid out of 10, honestly, I would have graded myself a 7.
Out of all of the show them that you promote?
No, if I was to grade this show out of 10,
yes,
I would have graded this a 7.
7?
Yes.
Yes.
I think you should have done 5.
No, I understand that there are people that did have what I would call an unpleasant experience. But when I put the show together, I prepared honestly for a monster, for lack of a better terminology. I prepared for a monster, but I didn't expect this monster to grow all these extra tentacles.
Yes.
I did not. That I could honestly say. I was ready for a monster,
Yes.
but the monster evolved beyond things out of my control.
I have to lift my hat to you, you know, Sir Rodeo. There is, I don't, away from action promotion, I don't see or heard of another promoter that would take on a show like this. So I have a hats off to you. But we have Ali that was at the show. We're rated as 5. Ali, why would you give it a 5?
A lot of aspects just didn't work out for me. So the entrance, I procured a VIP ticket. So when I went and I was asked, okay, so where do I go to enter? I was sent in 2 different directions. Now imagine me walking around Woodbine, you know the size of the lot that it was. I walked to the wrong direction in the beginning where I was actually heading towards the drive-through gate, I guess for the vendors. To be shown by the securities in the jacket, the suit and tie.
And these are some of your employees?
The suit and tie security, I would have thought would have been very polite. Because I was like, excuse me, sir, I'm just looking for the VIP. No, you have to go around there. Like, don't talk to a patron like that. So that's number 1. So,
which in his defense, he can interview all of his security.
Yeah, but at the same time, when you have your meeting, like your people know that how you talk to people.
Yes.
Because yes, it's a dancehall show. Yes, they might be expecting a certain type of people, but not everybody's gonna fit that stereotype.
If I may say though, when you hire a security company, they're a security company that they've been doing this job over the years. They're reputable then, right? Yes. And you hire them to do a job based on their history. You don't have to. These are big men with a company that they're running for over the years. You don't have to coach them on how to talk to people. They should know
how to. Yeah, that's what I'm saying in his defense.
They should know. So if that's, I would say for that, because I read all the likes and the dislikes and
yes.
on social media, and if the security didn't do their job still, I would blame the security for not doing their job. You know what I mean? That Ali just explained the way the security talk.
Yes.
But it's just added to my overall experience.
Yes.
So which is why everything come into the
so she started off by that.
So we start off with there.
I do hear your complaints, but in a show of this magnitude, it's hard to micro-analyze down to one experience how the show ended up the way it did. It's like, I don't want to put myself in their situation, but it was a tense night. At a certain part of the night, there was so much people there, and different people have different stresses. At the end of the day, allow me. At the end of the day, we're all humans.
Humans, yes.
You know, and this is where I'm going to bring it to. We're all humans, and we all act differently under the constraints of stress. You know, we all. I smile when I get stressed. I smile. Some people get aggressive. Some people yell. But I heard that they weren't polite to you, and that's a problem. But not to minimize your experience, but that's not really a big problem in a show like this. With so many different moving parts, so many different people that has never worked together to create a parking lot.
Yes.
To create a parking lot into a venue in 24 hours and to put basically a company together. So because you're expecting a company protocol. I had to do that within 24 hours to create all this and hope that all the moving parts meshed and interchanged properly.
Right. And that's in the sense of turning a parking lot into a venue. Putting up fence. And they don't have, it's not like a building that was there for decades where they could do what we call a routine.
Nothing. That was all done within 24 hours. One day it was a parking lot. The next day it had washrooms, ice machines, bars, stage, engineer booth, security headquarters, lost and found, and many other things, ticket trucks, within 24 hours. So I understand that there is some complaints, and I'm not going to say 7 is a perfect number. There is things that I would do much different.
If you were supposed to do
and
that. And
sadly to say, one of the things that I would do much different is I would not do it in this venue.
Okay.
I would not bring it back to this location.
Okay.
It was, for me, I've done a lot of, most of my events has been Government, Rebel, Echo Beach, and these places where the same people that you saw and you weren't there, the same people that you saw and heard doing all these unpleasant things, when they go to these venues, they don't act like they did. It's 100% proven. Every promoter agrees with this. They change the way they act based on where they are. You understand?
Yes.
I had parking lots mapped off. I had all these things, but when I looked around, and I'm trying not to get too specific into all the negatives of this,
Yes.
because at the end of the day, it was a history-making event.
Yes, it is.
It's a history-making event. Love it or leave it. It's a history-making event, and when I see just this one part, multiple grown men jumping over fences, people are telling me, well, I should have planned for that. In order for me, just this specific part, because I told you, I'm trying not to microanalyze the event, because we can go piece by piece, we can go piece by piece. But in that specific situation, in order for me to protect against something like that, I would literally have to link the entire building, arm in arm, with security, surrounded the entire... I had an option to barbed wire the fence. I had an option to dog the perimeter.
I think
Based on... I did not want to treat my people like that.
Yes.
I did not want them to approach it and make it look like they're coming into a penitentiary or a jail show. I just did not want that feeling.
Yes.
But
as a promoter, I did not. And if I walked into a venue, I've never seen this. I've never been to a venue where fences are barbed wired. So why I felt that I don't think we have to be secured or locked down like inmates
to have
and
fun.
prisoners
To have fun.
fun. Like I just don't feel like that was the way to go. Well, we could armchair quarterback and say, you know what, we should have barbed wire defense. I should have had dogs around it. We could always do that. But if I was to do it again, I still would not make a decision to barbed wire my fence
because you did party without it before.
Okay, so sorry, not the barbed wire, but the dog of the permit dog in the I think, because when I was walking to the entrance, all my friends were there already. I'm walking by myself, and I was like, yo, where am I going? Am I lost? Am I abandoned? Because that long walk that you have to make to go around to that VIP entrance, that was crazy for me. And I reached at like what 5:30 when it was bright, and as a female walking by myself, I did feel a little bit paranoid. And I was like, so where's security to show me where I'm supposed to go?
So Sean Bush is an international traveler. Has been from continent to continent. I'm born in Jamaica. I have not been back to Jamaica since I was 16 years old. Obviously, I'm far from 16 now. So I would ask you, when you go to a Sunfest or when you go to a Rebel Salute, are they securing, I don't know this, are they securing the perimeters with men with dogs and things like that?
Yeah.
I just don't,
I
see that, but I just, as a person, I just have more love for my people than to
I understand, but at the same time, you need people to feel secure too.
Let me ask a question though. Yeah. In speaking about attendance, were you expecting the turnout that you got?
I was expecting the people inside to be about 8 to 12, which it was. What happened that I didn't expect is the additional 4 or 5,000 people outside. I didn't prepare to secure the outside of my, I didn't prepare to secure the outside of my venue, meaning way down there in the parking lot with 1,000 people there, 500 people there, with also 10 to 12,000 people inside.
So the turnout is more in a magnitude.
Was a lot more than even the partners and I expected. We were ready for a crowd that the city has never seen, which we prepared for, but it went beyond that.
More than the ticket that you printed.
More than it went way beyond that. And at a certain time, I kind of knew that. And to fast forward into maybe another one of your complaints, I had to make a decision. Okay, I had a Mavado on stage, an Alkaline on stage, but at the same time we had a security breach. So I had to make a decision. Do I want this show to go full length, which might be one of your complaints, so I'll attack it. Do I want the show to go full length, or do I want to cut this show off and allow everybody to go home safe? A lot of people are complaining that, well, the show is only an hour and a half between the two artists, and I understand that. But if I had an option, this is how it had to be done. There was major security breaches, and as I said, I'm not going to go into it, to the back, which I visualized myself. I have many children, so I had a lot of my children there, and needless to say, my children have baby mothers, so they were there as well. I invited friends. I had people that flew in from California. I had people that flew in from Europe. I had people that flew in from New York. I had a lot of friends, and I had to make a decision to get home everybody safe. And that's the decision I made. And in this situation, I'd still make that same decision, even though some people is unhappy.
As you said, you kept show before.
Yes.
You kept shows before that you didn't, as you said, you kept show before that you didn't have to use the barbed wire fence, and you didn't have to use the dog. And as you said earlier, that you kept them in places that when these people arrived at those places, they were manageable, they kept their cool. And the only thing that you're saying now that is a little bit different is you moved the venue, and it was just different. People act different in different places.
For example, when I did Popcorn in July, I had 6,000 people there. Not one fight, not one person trying to break in, not one person getting kicked out, nothing. 6,000 people. And the only reason and the answer to the question that I ask is that for some reason, there's a respect for those kind of venues over the respect for venues that we or businessmen create. You know, it's just a different thing. It goes from dance hall to hip hop. I've done shows uptown. I've done Kid Capri uptown. They rush my doors at Dufferin and Finch. 1 million people rushing, and I've done Kid Capri. The same person downtown, as quiet as a mouse.
Yes.
Same people.
Same people.
I've another question about the stage management and all of that, because I wasn't there, but I heard that there was an hour-and-a-half delay because people would not clear the stage, or they had too many people backstage.
I'll address that.
Yeah.
The reason that there was a delay is that people found out where the artist's entrance was, and they then created a lineup at the artist's entrance. So when Alkaline came, they refused to move.
Okay.
They just completely refused to move.
So
and Alkaline and a few of the other artists,
is it females?
They don't want. It was grown folks. It wasn't kids, and that's a major qualm for me right now, because a lot of people's like, it's all ages. The 16-year-olds and the 18-year-olds are gonna go wild and it's gonna go crazy because it's kids. But out of many complaints, I haven't seen one that said the kids were disruptive. The kids were causing this problem.
It's all grown
These
folks.
were grown folks that yourself and you and I know, and that I hope they're watching. I've seen people that I directly deliver tickets to. You know, it's like...
It's sad.
Because in a situation like this...
They found out where the artist entrance was?
Yes.
Maybe I wasn't searching because I didn't even know where... I thought... Because I saw like the Canadian artists walking through the same entrance I walked through. And I said to myself, why is it that the artist is walking through the VIP to then go to the backstage? I was like, that don't make no sense. That's what I said when I saw it happening.
Taking off my promoter hat and Sean putting on my into the party hat. As a youngster, or as anybody that wants to get into a party, which was the mindset, it seemed, of, I would say the number was about 300, 350 people. It was a by all means necessary. We're getting into this event, we're not paying to get into this event, and we're looking for a breach, and wherever we see a breach, that is where we're going. Like, I used to go to clubs. I used to do these things. You know, I'm old enough and mature enough to look back at my wrongs and be able to admit that. The things I've seen, I used to do.
Right.
You know, I can be very honest about it. And they looked for the weakest entrance, and hundreds of them lined up there.
Okay, they're getting the party. So them getting the party in the venue. We all used to do it sometime, you know, with all type of trick to get into venue before I became a star. But the stage,
Yes.
Gaga stated earlier about the stage.
Let me address that.
The clip, there's a clip that we showed earlier. The stage, the artist actually had a perimeter of about, you would say about a couple feet to perform. Because it was filled with, I don't know if it's groupies, male groupies, are a man from out of the crew.
I'll explain that.
To be fair to him, the stage, in terms of who you saw on the stage, wasn't as bad as it seemed on video. I'm gonna give you that. It wasn't as bad as it seemed on video, because what happened was the stage itself was a bit small.
It was a small stage.
It was
very small.
Okay.
Who you saw on it, I think, based on what I've seen with previous Alkaline concerts that I've been to, and those that he did in Jamaica, who was on stage at that point in time where you saw him was really his team. And they were his team, which was his sister who is managing him, his bodyguards, who were really trying to protect him from actually being taken by the crowd. So that wasn't really groupies and people on the stage that don't need to be on the stage. So but at a point in time, though, the stage did get breached.
I agreed. But to bring it back home, I could go down from A to Z and nitpick the problems of this event. I actually know what they were, and if I don't remember, all I have to do is go to my page on Instagram, which has over 250 critiques and recommendations of what I should do next. So if I want to remind myself, it's a simple opening and say, listen, A, B, C, and D was done wrong. There are a few things.
Are you going to take some of those critiques?
It's, you know what, it's, when I do Sanchez, that's not an issue. When I did Freddie McGregor, that's not an issue. When I do Popcorn, that's an issue. When I do Mavado, that's an issue.
Because of who is going to those shows.
It's nothing that is come just to me alone. It's a problem that every promoter has, and what I try not to do, because I bring these artists repeatedly, is that there's entourages, and the entourages sometimes outnumber my security. And you know what I mean.
Yes.
When some of these artists walk in, there's 25, there's 30 people behind them.
When they look back and say it's top of the yellow shirt.
Yes. You understand? So those same 25, guess where they're going to be when the artists go on stage?
On stage.
On stage.
So it's,
Yes.
I cannot tell, I can, but it becomes a difficult working relationship.
Yes.
If I tell Alkaline, listen, behind you, they have to stay in the back.
Yes. Yes, I understand.
It's difficult and it's hard, and I believe I tried my best. The Sunday after the show, I lost my voice. I couldn't talk. I couldn't walk. I didn't leave my bed until the Monday. Like, I tried my hardest. I worked till the last sweat came off, till the sweat turned to salt, till I lost my voice, till the muscles couldn't move no more. So people are unsatisfied. I'm satisfied with the effort I put in to make this event come, and people are unsatisfied with the outcome, and I just have to do better next time.
So you're gonna take some of the critics that when them put up, you're gonna use some of these critics to strengthen the promotion of rodeo promotion and get back to them, because your job is not done as a promoter. Toronto is still looking at rodeo promotion to put, as much as them complain, because
they're waiting. I know.
Yes, as much as them complain and say, he that boy rodeo and him should have put a fence there, so the bathroom should have been on the stage. They're the same one. If you say, yeah, get cartel a day pass from jail right now for come out foreign, them are the same one.
The end of the day, the patrons, they're not concerned about rodeo. Is what you bring to the people.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? So tomorrow, put on a next show, and you deliver something what the people them want, them are go come see him with.
But I'd like to remind everybody that Alkaline had a show the next day.
In New York.
And you can inform the audience what happened with that show. He didn't in New York City. He didn't perform that day. He had another show. And what I'm known for is actually producing the artist. Regardless of the chatter.
And it coming true.
Regardless of the chatter in the street about, oh, this guy didn't get his immigration, this guy didn't get his green card, I would knock on wood if wood was here, but I have never printed a flyer that the artist did not come on stage. That has never happened.
Because people were saying that Mavado this is what I got. I saw no video promo of Mavado in
coming through
Canada
the airport.
coming through, or like how you know you did with Alkaline and Jahmiel when they
Yes.
were at the hotel. So the person said, so no Mavado is going to be at the show, and I was like, why would you say
But
that?
Mavado is
Not a video drop person.
He is he's a mega superstar.
Yes.
These guys are superstars. When he comes, he's done it, did that, done it. He don't need to do it. I'm here, rodeo. I was here the last 2 times for you. I'm going to my hotel room. When it's time to come, I'll go up on the stage.
Yes.
That is Mavado.
It's done.
He's a superstar.
Yes.
He feels that where, I'm not trying to speak for him. I'm just guessing. He feels that he's here.
Man of his word.
And if I say he's here, he's here.
Yes.
The last 3 times Mavado's come, it's been through the same promoter. So he's not uncomfortable in not doing these things, because he's coming for a promoter that's produced the last two times that he's been to this country. You know, Alkaline's younger, Jahmiel is much younger, and to be honest, I had more communication with Alkaline because he was genuinely excited about the show. He told me, that's why there was if you notice, I don't know if you saw all the online promo, he was hitting me with videos after videos after videos and drops and drops. I didn't ask him for those things.
Yes.
I would wake up in my email and he would say, shot this.
Yes.
So he was excited about the show. And you know, other people read into things, and you know, some of other camps is like, you know, we're on the show too. You're making it look like, I'm not going to call no names.
Yes.
You're making it look like an Alkaline show.
Yeah.
But it's an Alkaline show.
But
Sorry.
I could only work with the tools I'm given.
Yes.
You know, Mavado did send me a video.
Yes.
And that's before he came. He did a drop, and then he said the thing, and he did that. but he's just not a man that I could repeatedly say, do a video for me now, do a video for me now. Right now, he's not at that stage in his career. He's here, he walked to the airport, immigration see him, me see him, management see him, the car people see him. He's here. He don't have nothing to prove. Just bring him on the stage. And that's where he is.
Another concern.
You can go first, Gaga.
Another concern, right? Because as I said, I was not at the show. But I wake up early this Sunday. No, actually from the Saturday night. Me I read. Right? And another concern was people said after waiting for 2 hours, some said 2 hours, some said 1 hour, some said hour and a half. You know what I mean? After waiting for so long, them come on and perform for 25 minutes.
It was an hour and a half. It was from 9 to 10:30.
That was the wait.
Yes, it was supposed to go till 11, but it was from. But I explained earlier in the segment that the reasoning behind it is the security breach in the back.
Right.
You know, I did want the people to see the artists, and that's why I fought so hard to get them in there. You know, I did want them to see the artists, but at the end of the day, not at the cost of losing a life or the other things that might come with a show with that much breach of security.
Yes.
But okay, so that 1.5 hour break. Honestly, as a patron, I didn't need to know all of what was happening in the back. That's just my take on it. And the fact that the MCs constantly were on the stage, we're not going to play nothing, we're not doing on the back doing this. In my opinion, if those MCs and DJs were on that stage and just giving us a party in that 1.5 hour, I wouldn't even know that something was happening in the back. And I would just see Alkaline come on stage, then Mavado come on stage, and I'd be like, oh wow, and then I'd be good. But you see that 1.5 hour wait.
So they were constantly giving you update, what's going on?
It wasn't even
One bag of
update. There was
chattings.
no music playing.
Well,
no music. They're just talking. One talk, one another talk. The third one come and talk. Then them just repeat this. And I was like, okay, we get it. There's a security breach. We get it. If they had even said it twice, I would have been fine with it. But for 1.5 hours, I stood there listening to you telling me the same thing. And then they started playing some Senyagaya Yard music. That's what
I did that, and that was my call. That was my call. Let me explain. The reason why I told them is because between Alkaline's management and my production team, we knew that I couldn't bring Alkaline on stage in a fever, in the crowd in a fever.
Yes.
Because earlier, the VIP area, they tried to breach the VIP fence. So collectively, we said, we are calming down this crowd.
Before, yes.
We are calming down this crowd. I understand why some people are used to be at festivals, but they're moving parts.
Yes.
And I knew that if we went in and we played Idonia, and all the crowd's hype level would be way too high, and God knows what would have happened.
Yep.
But I don't think,
CP24.
I don't know.
I never thought about it.
I don't
never think
know.
about it that way, and that's why you're a promoter.
I don't think like I don't know or that, but honestly,
I'm just picking.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
but
trying
like,
to choose an artist
but
over,
some,
but, you
but
know?
some are more than the not alright, not the this year music, not the this music, but something in between that doesn't make me realize, okay, I'm standing here for 1.5 hours. My feet are hurting.
But we got to hurt myself together.
That's what my DJ, that was playing.
That was playing.
No, that's what I want to hear.
But don't forget,
if I'm a promoter, that's what I'll put,
let me
on
remind
to
you,
calm it
because
down.
you weren't there. When those musics were playing, that's when the crowd sang the loudest. They sung back a million voices louder.
So I just alling over our ear.
No.
Neil, I was a part of
She has to agree to that point that when those songs were playing, the crowd participation was here, but the level that we wanted was there as well.
It's a conscious type of music.
Yes,
we put in a mellow vibe.
But as the crowd was singing to and like we get into it, you know, then you hear one mic man. And then you hear sound a need for move from the back. And I'm like, Jesus.
In defense of my mic man,
where was the state security
there was police, there's everything there, but there was so much
Moving
things
parts.
going on at the same time. He was using the megaphone as a voice to them.
Okay.
Because obviously
to the people that were breaching.
they were listening, because they were
Jesus.
obviously listening to the show. And so he was explaining to them that this show is not going to go on until you guys at the back. And then I remember specifically says, there is so much people at the front here waiting for a show, and just, I don't know if you remember that,
Yeah.
and just because of you at the back, this is why this show is not going on. So in defense of I didn't agree with that, I didn't disagree with that at all, because again, I lost my voice. So I definitely didn't have a voice strong enough
Screaming.
to scream to 300 people, you know. So he used the mic as a megaphone to speak to all those people.
So you're telling me that with police, SWAT team, security, because this is what a year ago now. So security, 2 sets of security, regular security and jacket security.
Yes.
Those 300 people in the back weren't moving?
They
They-
listen.
Them determination bad.
Because I grew up in Rexdale, as you can see, I'm trying to tread this line, but
They're just
there it's a difficult crowd.
Dear.
It's a difficult crowd there. It's a difficult
because
crowd.
You have 300 people and you don't have 300 security.
Definitely not.
You know what I mean? And
Definitely
plus,
not.
you have 8,000 people in the front that need security as well.
So they can't leave from the
So you
front.
can't
to
leave
go.
the front
Yeah,
and go
I
to
see
the
that
back.
happening because when they started to breach a VIP fence and all the securities run there, then they left, you know that little section to the sound booth?
Yeah.
I just see somebody just hop over from the regular, hop into the walkway and just walk through the
Okay,
gates. And I'm like,
so can I ask you something? I do hear your disgruntledness, and we do have things to appease some of the people that bought tickets. I said, I don't know if you bought your tickets.
For
People
you.
that bought tickets and saw the show and had a, somehow unpleasant experience. If they contact me through any of the social networks, we have ways of addressing the situation, and we are addressing it, and I'm not ignoring it. That's why I'm here right now.
but I
you know
saw
what I'm
some
saying?
people say that you guys are asking for the ticket stubs, but the stubs
No,
were
because
taken.
we're not asking for ticket stub. We're asking for POP, and POP is proof of purchase. You understand? And it's proof of purchase is really at my discretion, and to say something towards this issue, we have, because all the info line is this phone, okay? And again, I'm not trying to belittle your unpleasant experience, but if we have 10,000 people there, and let's give the number of 300 complaints, we're talking 0.03% of the people complaining.
Yes.
That's very easy for me to fix.
Yes.
That's very
Easy
easy.
fix.
And that's a percentage, because I'm in a numbers game. So I know that a negative
Number doesn't
voice,
lie.
a negative voice is a lot louder than a positive voice.
Yes.
Because you do something bad right now, it's spread through the city like gasoline. You go and give some kids the T-shirts and some school books and stuff next week.
Yeah.
Only the kids and know about this. So I know, and that's one of the reasons why, to me, it seems like the volume of complaints is a lot louder than it is. But I actually have the phone that the complaints come through, and there is not 10,000 people complaining.
Yes.
When I look at my videos, I see 6,000 cameras waving back and forth to Alkaline. I see 6,000 or 8,000 cameras waving back and forth to Mavado. But I do also recognize that people did have an unpleasant experience, and I have to address that. But I don't want to make it seem like everybody's had a bad experience and everybody's complaining, because again, if you go to my Instagram as well, there's also a subject line where I'm getting pure accolades and
Yes.
pure I had a beautiful time.
Yes.
So, it's good to point out the negative, but I implore you to point out the positive.
The
The
people
positive is the Alkaline performance and the Mavado performance and the Jahmiel performance. I thought Jahmiel's performance
Was great.
It was
beautiful.
absolutely.
Jahmiel, my artist.
And I thought if the show continued on that pace, the show would have gotten an 11 out of 10.
Well, they were all,
But we seem to talk about just Jahmiel, Alkaline, and Mavado. What about some Canadian artists we represent? Because I see some videos, some clips. Because you know, sometimes you see a 10-second clip and it bad, but the 45 minutes performance not good. But I see some clips where
Saturday evening,
wicked.
somebody say, I just take the show.
He did.
There was a new artist
Yeah.
there.
He did.
There's a new artist there that I would ask you to look at named Roots K. And a lot of people is talking about her right now. I don't know if you know. Roots K was incredible that night. You know, and I don't mean to tap myself on the shoulders, but a lot of other promoters would not have given a show like this, the Canadian artist, any time, any space to show themselves in front of 10,000 people. But again, I don't do this business for the girls. I don't do it for the cars. I don't do it for all the other things that a lot of promoters. I love this game.
You love it. You do it for
I
the
love this. And the real people that know where I'm coming from, you know. I'm coming from the deepest, from the darkest parts of this city,
Yes.
from the darkest times.
Yes.
And this is what I transform my life into. So if I can change that,
Yes.
surely I could address these issues and
Yeah,
change
simple.
this much easier.
But for the Canadian artists, they got what, like a 5 or 10 minute?
All Canadian artists got 10 minutes and Isis got 15 minutes.
Okay.
There you have it. Upcoming shows.
Well, you know, I call my partner and he won't allow me to release
Talk. The thing.
any of the names right now. I tried my best. You know, I have 2 very big shows that I'm about to announce, and I do have the mechanism to get it out to the city, so they'll know very soon. And at my next show is when the disgruntled people can get the discounts
Yes.
that I'm going to be offering when they contact me that other people won't be able to get. So I'm offering a discount to certain people based on POP, and that's one of the things. It comes with a few other things,
Yes.
but I'm definitely offering a discount to my next show, which it's a different animal, but it's a big show. It's huge.
you know, one of the things that you have to be grateful, and we have to be grateful for. You see, anytime something like that go on at a show, in the snap of a finger, it can turn ugly.
Yes.
And people waited for 1.5 hours
Without doing...
and nothing happened.
Because I wrote a promotion.
You know what I mean? So regardless of
Because it's
regardless of
Canada.
everything else will happen,
It's a few things, but...
You know what I mean?
It's a few things,
you have to
but...
give thanks to that.
It's a few things, but I would say 70% of the people that were there have been to one of my shows before. And that's what I thought, you know, 70% they know, you know, they know the kind of shows I put on, and they know how hard I try, and they know that I'm not back there with a money machine with and a big cigar saying I got one over on people.
Yes.
They know I'm always thinking about the next party for them,
For real.
you know?
Is there ever any time that you promote a show and for some reason, weird reason sometime, that an artist, so you put on a show with 4 artists, you know, like the one that you just had a week ago, and people were saying Mavado is not here. Is there ever a time like that you ever put on a show and the artist didn't make it, and you actually send a message out there and say, okay, this artist make it to Canada, this artist make it to Canada, this specific artist didn't make it to the show, and you're not going to see them tonight?
I've never did a show that my artist did not show up.
Always.
I've
Never.
never did a show that my artist did not show up. I've did shows that the entire city was saying, he's not coming. There's no way this artist can come. I know he can't get his visa. He get charged for this, he get charged for that. I've did shows, but I've never did a show. If I have a show like that, usually my shows consist of 2 artists. You know? So one artist has to complement the other.
Yes.
So if I have a show and one artist doesn't show, I usually just cancel the show.
Oy. Big up yourself, Rodeo Promotion. You're the boss. You still say you're the boss of promotion. You know, big up the next promoter I called earlier. And you know, the 2 mega promoter in the city of Toronto, and not too many promoter or promotion team that actually do this have a show and come out to come thank the people them and tell the people them why they have the little hiccups there and, you know, promise the people them, you know, that they're gonna have, you know, anybody with them POP, you know, I go get a discount for the next upcoming show. So thank you for doing so, and thank you for passing through on GView TV.
You know what? Give me a chance for my Instagram at Rodeo Promo. You know, I don't play at Rodeo Promo. I gotta give myself some
definitely
self-promo.
so.
You know,
Definitely
and
so.
like some pictures, like some pictures.
One more thing, you
Yes,
had a
sir.
lot of newcomers
Yes.
that never been to a stage show before. I
Yes.
know that personally. You know what I mean? Because you know the Alkaline, something whole heap of people into this Alkaline thing.
Yes.
And you have a whole heap of young people just come out and say, you know what, me I got experience a stage show. What message would you send to those young kids that come out? They didn't give any trouble, but they came out to have a good time. What message would you send to them?
I would say thank you to them. And before this show, I never considered doing an all ages show. It was the furthest thing from my mind. But I think I'm going to prepare an all ages specific show for them based on their behavior. The adults have to look in the mirror, and the kids were very good.
Big up yourself. Big up the people them. Take it away.
Well, this is my
The
first
social
time
media,
on TV, so
the
you know what I at Rodeo Promo on Instagram, or Meet Me in Toronto on Instagram. Those are my two handles, and you know, say what you want. I'm a man. I'm man enough to take it. Say what you want. I'm here.
DM message, the DM box full now.
Loaded.
Oh Lord, big up on yourself. I want to say on behalf of the entire GView cast, it was a pleasant show, and I want to say good night to our viewers.
Good night. Good night. Good night.
Yeah, man, big up all the viewers. Simone, big up yourself. Yesterday was your birthday. Big up.
Pepper, big up yourself. Richie Ramos, big up yourself. Big G, big up yourself. Auntie D, big up yourself. Cosmic, Kimon, Freshy Fresh, the whole entire GView family, big up on yourself. Until we see you guys next week, keep it locked. GView TV.